Grab a cup of tea or a glass of wine and tune in for Inspired Conversations with publisher Linda Joy. On Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern, Linda creates sacred space for leading female luminaries, empowering authors, heart-centered female entrepreneurs, coaches, and healers. A soulful venue where guests openly share the fears and obstacles they've overcome, wisdom and lessons learned, and the personal journey that led them to the transformational work they do in the world. Inspired Conversations to empower you on your path to authentic, soulful living.
Welcome to Inspired Conversations. I am so honored that you are here with myself and my special guest. And you know that everything that I put out in the world is about inspiring you to live deeper, more authentic, intentional, and joy-filled lives. That goes for business too. Joy is such an important aspect of who we are, and sometimes we forget that it is a powerful tool. And that's why I'm super excited to have my special guest, Laura West, with me today. Laura believes joy is the best productivity tool for your business growth. And when you focus on the energetics of business and align with joy, passion, and your soul work, magic happens. Laura is the creator of Success Scripting and author of the Joyful Business Plan. And she's here today to share a fresh, holistic approach to creating your big yes in business and life. Laura knows when you are aligned with your joy and passion, you are more innovative, creative, and confident, and success is inevitable. She's helped thousands of conscious business owners over the last 20 years unlock their soul work, personal power, creativity, and their leadership presence. She's the CEO of the Center for Joyful Business, an international business success coach, and host of Joyful Business TV. She helps coaches, healers, and purpose-driven entrepreneurs discover their creative leadership inside and out so they can create wholehearted, successful business. And as you'll discover, she's passionate that you can do meaningful work that makes a positive difference while making great money. Welcome, Laura. I'm so happy that you're here with me today.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here too and talk with you.
Well, we've been following each other and connected for a long time, so we've witnessed each other's journey. I've always been drawn to your message about a joyful business, not just because my last name is Joy and it's a principle I integrate throughout my life and business, but because the message is so needed for heart-centered entrepreneurs who think that having a business means push, strive, struggle. So what I always love to start a conversation with is, what led you to become, this success expert about bringing joy into your business? Did you go through a personal transformation that led you to say, I need more joy?
Of course. Of course I did. Yes. When I used to be VP of marketing in the shopping center industry, and we managed and marketed 50 shopping centers around the country back in the 90s. And we went through a period where I think in 5 years, we went through 6 buyouts and mergers. It was just super, super stressful. Not a lot of joy. And I really got burned out, and I lost my connection to my passion for marketing and being creative and connecting with people and things like that and serving them. And ended up hiring a career coach, realized I loved coaching. That was something I naturally did, went through certification, did all the things, started my business, launched my business, and realized that I was really passionate because I just intuitively knew that joy mattered, that when we were feeling joy in our business, that it mattered to our creativity, to our passion. And lo and behold, a friend sent me an article from Barbara Fredrickson, who's now the author of several books, one called Positivity. And she did a whole study on joy in business and happiness in business. And studies prove what we intuitively know, but it's like when you're happy at work, when you're feeling your joy, we're more confident, right? So to me, that translates in business. We're more likely to pick up the phone. We're more likely to write that email. So we're more confident, we're more creative, we're more innovative, we're willing to take that risk. The creative ideas flow, and then all that translates into our business. So yeah, so that's why it became the whole focus point for my business, the name of my business. And I really help, since then it's like I've gone to a place where joy has to be an essential ingredient in your business. Otherwise, we're creating something that's not sustainable.
Yeah, you're speaking my language, my friend. I always talk
Uh-huh.
about yeah, it's like inner alignment, right? Like for me, the spiritual principles I believe are joy and love, and even manifesting are all the essence of who we are. We just forget that, and then we make things hard. But as you shared, when we're tuned into joy, I agree. I'm more creative.
Mhm.
I manifest faster,
Yeah.
right? But I also notice that I attract amazing women like you, but even clients, right? Because people can energetically feel your own belief in your business, your own joy for your business. I think that's an energy essence that the business holds because we're nurturing it with love and joy. Have you found that too?
Absolutely. That's I talk a lot about the energetics in your business, and are your soul and your business's soul aligned? And to me, that's where the joy comes in. And it's not to be confused with like everything you do is going to be joyful. There's times where if doing your taxes doesn't bring you joy, but the end result can bring you joy of getting it done. But by and far, when you align with your joy, with your passion, with your soul work, then you are showing up in a way that makes you magnetic. And you're right, you attract really great, amazing people, opportunities. Um, the money comes, all of those things start, as a result of attracting the clients and the opportunities. And people just they can tell, right? It's the invisible energetics that get transferred that make you magnetic. And joy is a big ingredient in that.
Oh, so much so that I legally changed my name 28 years ago to Joy.
Yeah, I was
Um,
wondering about that.
well, it was actually my middle name when I was born, but I
Mm,
never liked it in my teens and 20s. So I never used it. And then after a divorce and a business change, after the divorce, I said, I want to be who I am, not have somebody else's name to tell me who I am.
mhm.
And so I legally dropped my last names, including my maiden name, and went to court to say, this is who I am. And here's what's funny, Laura. It was a
That's a
long time ago.
declaration.
Yeah, it was a declaration of this is who I am. I don't need someone else's name to give me value. I wanted to discover who I am. But the purpose of the story was I began, I guess I called it in that day by owning it. And I
Right.
began living and playing in the essence of joy because I wanted that in my life. And then I started implementing it in the business. And you're right, it's so magnetic. Plus, it's so much more fun to be
Yes.
aligned with joy.
Right. And when you're having fun, that's magnetic too. I did the same thing with my business name. Some people will look at it and say, well, of course your name is Joyful Business. You're so joyful. And I'm like, I'm like anybody else. There's times where especially early on, 20 years ago, where I wake up and it'd be like, now what am I doing again? And gosh, this feels hard. And
Oh,
sometimes I
yeah.
wasn't aligned with, juggling the young kids and all the things. I wasn't always naturally in my joy. And so it was a reminder to me to keep intentionally putting the compass to point towards joy. And so now it does seem, it is more integrated.
I can agree to the hard times too. And I also agree that, like you with the business name and me being intuitively led to take joy as my energy and my physical
Mhm.
name in the world, it was always a daily reminder.
Right.
It was almost like a visual reminder of, oh, Linda, you committed to more joy in your life. And then,
Mhm.
of course, as the business unfolded, the other thing you said is about the energetics. And I share that a lot with my clients that if they are angry at their business, if they're resentful of anything in their business, if all the emotions that go with that run into business,
Yes.
but I tell them if you don't pour love and joy and positive energy into your business, you're going to get back what you're putting out, just like anything in the world. And I also believe, I believe you do, is that if we're sitting there and we're having a tough day and we're writing an email from that energy of resentment or fear or whatever may be happening in our day, because we're all human, that's the energy that goes out in that email, and that's what people feel. Is that how you share it also?
Absolutely. Yes. It's when I always encourage my clients when they go into creation mode that they need to purposely cultivate the joy and the passion first and the love so that they're writing or creating from that place. Because yeah, if you're writing from, I'm really stressed, I'm desperate for money, that's really not a great place to write anything or create from. But when you're in the place of the love you want for people, for the change that you're going to create, the gifts that you're going to share with them, it's going to make a difference in their life, the joy that you feel and that you're sharing, that comes across in your emails, regardless of what your words are. So yeah, we always like to learn copywriting skills and have those, that perfect way of showing up in our emails, but so much happens with the energetic transfer that people can tell when you're desperate for money. People can tell when you're having a bad day and you wrote an email and it comes off a little shorter or clippier than normal. And they can tell when you are so in your joy zone, right? That when you are so in that sweet spot of, I am doing work I love and I just can't wait to share this with you. It comes across.
Yeah, you must hear it a lot too, about, Linda, you're always so joyful. Or Laura, you're always so joyful. I'm like, hello, people. I still have human days, but I know how to recalibrate much quicker now to get back in my joy zone, right? To get back in my, the truth of who I am, actually, because joy and love are the truth of who we are. So I know you must get that feedback as you shared earlier.
Oh yeah, all the time. People say that, like I said, that's why I called my business that name. That's what people think. I called it that because I'm always joyful. And I said, no, I called it that to remember to keep recalibrating and things like that. Actually, my dad was he specialized in calibration, and he did it for aircraft that were on aircraft carriers and things like that. And so I love hearing his stories, because you don't just do it one time and set it and the instrument is accurate. Like, you're always having to come back and recalibrate these instruments. And so it's such a great reminder of that's what I do with joy. It's like we're always recalibrating, which means sometimes I need to, I want to sit down and I want to write the sales page. Well, I need to go for a walk first, or I need to sit out and look for the hummingbirds, or I need to journal first and just get my energy in alignment so that I'm in that place of, oh my gosh, I'm going to give joy, love, success, passion, and be able to share that and change lives. And when I'm in that place, the words just flow, right?
It's so important. And I teach recalibration principles to my business clients.
We're like sisters from another mother.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So I've been teaching that for probably, since I started the Illuminate Sister Mind. And then with my mindset clients who are not business owners, I'm always telling them that it's okay to have what others perceive as negative thoughts. The choice is, do you stay and follow the stream, or do you recalibrate back to your truth? So I'm always sharing it from either the mindset for non-business owners as well as for business owners. So yeah, we are. That's why I'm so excited to have you here. Yeah. We're going to take a quick break, Laura. And when we come back, let's talk about your book, because the Joyful Business Plan, for anyone out there that's a creative like me, you must be going, oh yeah, I need a business plan that feels aligned with me. So we'll be back in a moment. I'm with Laura West of joyfulbusiness.com. We'll be right back.
Connecting you with the best of the conscious minds in the world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Inspiration for a woman's soul. Aspire Magazine, inspiring and supporting women on the path of self-discovery. Claim your free digital subscription today, which includes access to thousands of dollars of personal development bonus gifts from Team Inspiration partners. Claim your Aspire Magazine subscription today at subscribetoaspire.com.
Ascending Hearts is no ordinary dating site, but a spiritual dating site with a purpose, to link you with your soulmate. We engineer the serendipity so you can trust that you will attune with someone that has the same matching vibration as you. Ascending Hearts, the conscious dating site for the spiritually aware. Try Ascending Hearts for free. ascendinghearts.com.
Consistently attract soulmate clients, begin showing up on brand, monetizing on your calling. Welcome all spiritual coaches, leaders, healers, light workers, and practitioners to a show that turns you on in your business and amplifies your magnetism. I'm host, catalyst, and spiritual business coach Rosalind Fung, and I'm here to journey with you into the juicy and help you discover where the real gaps are. Ignite your mindset and soul with strategies and systems as each episode takes you to the sweet spot that activates your soulgasmic business by tuning in on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Mountain. Join me for your light language activation and let's magnetize and monetize.
Your conscious lifestyle on steroids. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Welcome back. You're listening to Inspired Conversations. I'm your host, Linda Joy, and with me today is Laura West, CEO of the Center for Joyful Business. So you're the creator of the Joyful Business Plan, and it's a right brain creative planning toolkit. What led you to start that? Because just the name of that speaks to my soul, right? Like, because I'm a creative, so I'm like, oh yes, because I grew up with like SCORE and SEED and this
Right.
SBA and writing 50-page business plans that sucked the joy out of me. So what led you to that, to create it?
Well, it was a combination of things. First of all, when I was in corporate, I participated, created, contributed to literally thousands of business plans and marketing plans for retailers, for shopping centers, each and every year. And they were not 50 pages. They were like 6-inch 3-ring binders. And so I had all stacked for 50 shopping centers, had a business plan, a marketing plan, plus, we'd have lots of stuff for retailers. And that served a certain purpose. When I started my own business, all of a sudden I realized, I'm like, I don't need a gigantic business plan to present to somebody else, a third-party investor or a bank or something like that. I needed a guide to help guide me through and remember, what am I creating? Why am I creating this? Who am I creating it for? What do I do today? That kind of thing. And it needed to not be full of Excel spreadsheets and things that made me go into an analytical place. I needed, the analytical is good. I love that part, but I really needed to have a place where I could brainstorm my ideas and get my ideas out of my head and onto paper and then sort through them so that then I could decide, what am I going to prioritize? What am I going to focus on? And then what do I do today? I've got this bigger plan. And then what do I do today? And that really inspired me to do that. And a funny story, but I did a prototype of this in 3-ring binders, and I did a prototype like 15 plus years ago. And I drove like 3 states away to Mississippi when I was living in Atlanta at the time to a friend of mine, and she had gathered 6 women entrepreneurs, and they were all creative type entrepreneurs. And I tested out these creative worksheets that I had put together in this whole system. And they just loved it. They opened up in such a big way. And it opened up so many avenues for coaching, so many avenues for them to blossom and get all that stuff out of the dreams out of their heart and all the ideas out of their head, and to be able to put it on paper and then to be able to start taking action and move forward. So it was hugely powerful. And so I've had different iterations over the years. We're getting ready to go into I call it the 3.0 version this year. So it's very exciting.
So does someone learn about it? Is it a program that's released occasionally, or is it on your website?
It's on my website. Yeah, it's on my website. They can find it at joyfulbusiness.com, and it's called the Joyful Business Plan. And it's like 30 plus worksheets. I don't know worksheets. I call them creative play sheets. And then each one has a little short video that you can look at that describes how to use that sheet in your business. Part of it is the planning part, where you get ideas out of your head, and again, the dreams out of your heart. And then there's a planner part where you create your 90-day plan. You have a daily action plan. You have an idea marketing log journal that you use. So all the things that I saw my clients doing, where they were trying to scrap things together and they couldn't find a system, I created a system that works for creatives.
Oh, this sounds magical. So I encourage everyone to visit joyfulbusiness.com. So let's circle back to something you said earlier. You talked about attracting your soul tribe. I use the words aligned audience, and soul tribe is got the same energetic vibration. So who is your soul tribe, and is it important for entrepreneurs to know whose theirs is?
Yeah, I think it's essential. And this is, when you double click on Soul Tribe, you get into, there's like 5 different types of people who are in your Soul Tribe. One of them is your ideal client, what I call your best client ever. And so looking at those qualities, you want to be surrounding yourself with people who are your potential best clients ever. But it's more than that. So your soul tribe is also your past clients, right? They are still there giving you energy. That's a great place to have clients come back. There's also potential clients. They're part of your soul tribe, people who haven't quite yet got into the place where they're ready to make a decision or seen the right offer or opportunity to work with you. But then there's also people who are what I call your raving fans. And you don't even know why they're there, or they might not even know why they're there, right? But they are just raving fans of your work. And they are people that may never become part of your soul tribe. They never may become a client. They're in your soul tribe, but they are the ones who are going to refer you to a podcast, or they're going to refer people to you. And so they're as essential as anything. And so to me, it's like looking at the raving fans, looking at people who are your joint venture potential partners and collaborators. They're part of your soul tribe as well. And so you want to make sure that you are nurturing all those relationships, because the growth happens not just from focusing on your potential clients right in front of you, but from the opportunities to be a guest on a podcast or a radio show or a TV show, or be part of a summit and things like that.
Oh, I love that. And that all resonates with me too. And it's funny, like you said about raving fans, we've both been around for a long time, and I still have women that follow me for 17 years. And even though they haven't become a client, they share everything that I do in business.
Right.
Like they're the ones that come up and cheer and send you private messages. And I'm like, there's just some kind of energetic connection. So that spoke to me too.
And I think of people, sometimes there's a person who's just a raving fan and they don't send people to you, but they send a note to you. Like I have a past client I must have worked with 20 years ago. She was one of my earlier clients. She worked for the CDC actually. And she still to this day, 20 years later, sends me notes of how much she loves my message, the encouragement, how I changed her life and her relationship with her and her daughter, changed her work environment and all sorts of things. And she still remembers that. And that gives me this huge energetic boost of knowing that I'm doing important work in the world. And then to me, that's priceless, right? That is absolutely priceless.
It is priceless. And don't those love notes always seem to come on the day you need it most too?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I noticed that for myself. So you teach workshops about success scripting.
Mm-hmm.
I love the whole, we have so much in common. I love the whole model. Tell us more about that and how it works for business owners.
Yeah, I love success scripting, and which is essentially, it's like writing a script, almost like a movie script of, all right, here's what's happening, here's what's unfolding. Either it's already happened, you're celebrating the success, but you get into the juicy details. So and so I use it for, the year. I use it with my clients for a project, for a difficult conversation. You could use it for a day. But you script in real detail. I'm sitting here at the end of the day in my favorite comfy chair, enjoying my comfy, honey lavender tea, and out of the mug I bought from Mexico. And, you get into the details of it. And then you talk about your success. Here I'm savoring I just got my book in the mail and I opened up the box, and, you describe it in such detail. And when you do that, your imagination, your soul can't tell the difference from your imagination and what's really going on, the reality. And so why not feed the imagination? That's how your soul communicates with you. And so I love using imaginative tools to help get us, to me, that aligns our energy with what it is we really are in truly soul's alignment with. And then I swear things start happening, the synchronicities start happening, you start noticing the right book, the perfect words come out. It always changes and shapes. Your intention is super powerful. Your imagination, your intention, when you put those together, it changes things. And opportunities come to you, or things that you wouldn't have normally seen show up.
Oh, I agree. And one of the ways I use it, I just use different language than you, is, do you remember Ann Webb? Way back. Yeah, I took that program, God, 19, 20 years ago. For me, what works is when I write it out, my future, I call it like letter to my future self, envisioning, like you said, but then I record it so I can hear my own voice. So I have it in my phone, and it's like, and aligned clients flow, into the book, whatever it is I'm working on.
Right.
Something about hearing my own voice.
It's powerful. Oh
my God, yeah. I have my granddaughter do the same thing when she's worried, like about a major vets competition. She's 11 and she likes to get things right. I said, baby, I want you to talk to yourself. I want you to envision the day. And sometimes she writes it, but sometimes I taught her to record it and then play it back. So she would play second last weekend. So
exciting.
Yeah. So I want
you can use it in so many different ways. I know I have a product called the Energy Jam, and it's similar, where you write out these powerful soul nourishing affirmations on what it is you want to affirm. And I have a certain way that you write them that they're very believable. More and more I am seen as a leader in my industry. More and more I let out my passion for joy and business, those kinds of things. And then I encourage people to record them. And I do the same thing. I listen to my recording in the morning, and it's like I walk through my day. I have a sway. What is it? I am a woman who has a sway in her day or whatever. And it's like, it just really is powerful, and it gets you right into alignment with the energy, the creation energy that you want to have for the day.
Oh my God, we are soul sisters. I mean, I created affirmations for the clients. It's one of my free gifts. That's energy infused affirmation screensavers. Gorgeous.
Yes, I've seen them. They're beautiful.
Thank you. But to me, the energy infused isn't about, like, writing affirmations. It's about feeling the truth of it in your essence, in your body. And that is, because I used to go, I'm going to make my affirmations and manifest 20 years ago and wonder why nothing happened, because I didn't embody.
The old, I am beautiful, I am rich. And you're like, yeah, right. It's like.
So I love that you do the Energy Jam. We're going to take another break. We'll be right back. I want to talk about what a big yes project is. Just the name of it, there's an energy there. It's like I can feel my arms up in the air, like, yeah, big yes.
You got it.
So we'll be right back, my friends. I am with Laura West of joyfulbusiness.com. We'll be back in a moment.
The best of the holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Are you struggling to grow your mission-driven business in a way that feeds your soul and fulfills your purpose? When you discover your unique human design and divine blueprint, you'll feel empowered in your business, aligned with your inner wisdom, and open to the flow of abundance and success. Nancy O'Keefe is a certified human design specialist and intuitive business coach, successfully coaching entrepreneurs for over 25 years. She is passionate about helping you understand your divine design and your personal formula for success. She knows what it takes after creating her own multi-seven-figure firm. Nancy helps women peel back the layers of who they've been taught to be to reveal who they truly are, so they can build an abundant and sustainable business that feeds their soul. Schedule your complimentary call today at nancyokeefecoaching.com.
More than 24 million Americans have an autoimmune disorder, and that number continues to grow. I'm Sharon Saylor, and I'm one of those 24 million. To put that number in perspective, cancer affects about 9 million and heart disease up to 22 million. That's why I've brought together top experts and those thriving regardless of their diagnosis to bring you the latest, most up-to-date information. Join me, Sharon Saylor, Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, for the Autoimmune Hour on Life Interrupted Radio to find out how to live your life uninterrupted.
Hey, hon, what you doing with your phone? Taking pictures?
No. I'm asking it questions.
Like what?
Hey, Bobo, do flowers have best friends?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, follow me. I want to show you something. Look, flowers do have best friends.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Free your mind with OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
You're listening to Inspired Conversations. I'm your host, Linda Joy, and with me today is the one and only Laura West, creator of the Joyful Business Plan, a right brain creative planning toolkit, as well as success scripting, and she's the creator of hundreds of programs, workshops, and creative tools. Be sure to check her out at joyfulbusiness.com. So you talk about big yes projects. What does that mean, Laura?
Yeah, well, what I notice with my clients, and of course, all this comes from myself as well, is that we always have this never-ending to-do list, right? All the things you got to do just to run your business on a daily basis, and write your newsletter and deliver your programs and products and write sales pages and all the things. And so I make this distinction with your big yes projects. Those are the projects that are going to move your business forward, right? They're really going to expand you into being seen as a leader of this movement with your message. And the big yes comes from the idea, like, when somebody asks you to do something and, you can be like, oh no, I'm so no to that, or you might be like, okay. But, there's sometimes when people ask you, hey, do you want to go to Mexico and be my guest at a retreat? That's what I had last year. And I had this big, huge heart opening. I didn't even know what the date was. And I was like, yes, absolutely, yes. And so that's the energy. It's like a wholehearted yes. And you are, I said yes to a TV show last year. It's like a wholehearted yes to committing to something that's going to move your business forward, that's out of the ordinary of your to-do list. And so that's what I identify with my clients is, do you have the support structures in place for this? But then we also look at the big yes project. What's going to really move you forward this year and make a difference in your business?
Oh, I love it. And as an entrepreneur, we need that because we need to pour that same excitement into our projects because that's what goes out in the world. So I love the energy behind that. And It's funny because, and I'm sure this is the same for you, as I've evolved, I've been an entrepreneur for 32 years, and in this realm, this business, I'm 17. And I've released things that to the outside world would be like, what are you doing? That's almost 6 figures of income. But I outgrew it as a woman, as an energetic being. It didn't bring me the same joy. Yes, I could have kept doing it over and over again because it was easy, but I had transformed. Have you noticed that you've released things in your business that maybe didn't make sense to others, but it no longer brought you that joy and passion?
Yeah, for sure. To me, when you are an entrepreneur, and especially the types of conscious, intentional entrepreneurs that we are, creative, sensitive, we're on a personal journey of growth. And so our business mirrors our growth. And so absolutely, I outgrow things. One of the things was probably 12 years ago, we had the recession and I was going through a tough time in my business and in my life, my marriage. And I was trying to figure out, my husband had been laid off and all this stuff. And I did a scripting, like, what do I want to do? What is next? What is calling me? What do I need to do next? And really writing out where the energy was calling me. And so it was calling me towards doing graphic recording, which is drawing big murals on paper on the wall when somebody else is speaking, like a keynote speaker. And so I did this for several years, worked with a lot of big names, popular names, and did their murals for their books, for their webinars, for their keynote speaking. And people just loved it. They fell in love with it. And they still, to this day, if I put one up, everybody goes crazy over it.
I just saw one that you did from a long time ago. And it speaks to me as a creative, like, oh, I just love it.
I love it. And so, however, I love doing that, but I love coaching. I love teaching. I love mentoring even more. And people couldn't hear that I did that when I was doing the other. And the other was very physical. And, I would travel to places and bring all my art supplies and big paper and physically kind of demanding. And I feel like I'm more expanded and have more of an impact when I'm coaching, but I still bring that creativity in a lot of different ways. So I just look for different ways to bring it in. So it's evolved to other ways, like through my Joyful Business Plan. But people were like, I can't believe you don't do that anymore. That's so fantastic. But it just didn't serve my heart 100%.
Yeah, I so get that. And I want to speak to that because there's entrepreneurs out there who are holding on to things that they know energetically no longer brings them joy because if it feels like they're pushing through mud. And I want to give you permission. It's okay to let it go. Sometimes we hold on to them for fear of losing abundance or losing business. But I got to tell you, and I can only speak for myself, when I released that thing that everyone thought I was crazy, it was one of my brands that was successful but didn't bring me joy. The income filled in within 9 months.
Right. It
And
creates a space, right, for something new to come in that couldn't come in otherwise.
Yeah, and what I notice is if we hold on to projects, brands, whatever, programs that no longer light us up, it starts to stagnate the energy in the business. It starts to permeate everything. And I say, let it go so you can bring all that joyful energy back into your business. And I just want to give everyone permission, to let go of what no longer lights you up. Just because you were offering something 5 years ago, if it is no longer aligned with the truth of who you are now, it's time to let it go.
Yeah. And I want to acknowledge that, being in business for yourself, saying yes, doing the big yes projects or letting go of things and saying no, it's no longer fits. I call it's full of joy fear, the joy of, you're making the right decision, there's something exciting about this. And it's also full of fear. It's like we can have both of those that we, go in and out of, and it's perfectly normal. It's not like we're always going to have joy and never be worried or afraid or, having to step into our resources, at a deeper level.
So true. I use the phrase nearsighted, nervous but excited. You can't tell.
I love that. You create your own words too.
Oh yeah, it's like vibrationally. It's like I'm so excited, but I'm scared shitless. Yeah. Right. So I love yours, joy fear. So you also have a program that I just love the name, and I want to give you an opportunity to talk about it. The Wild Creative Heart Experience. Please describe that for our listeners.
Yeah. Well, this was birthed from my own work that I did, as many times it is. And I was doing a program around my destiny. And my destiny, when I really line it up and talk to my soul and let my soul express, is about releasing and liberating my wild creative heart. And doing that in such a way that it is about putting my voice into the world, finding my creative power, and really letting my heart out, my love for the change that I want to help create in the world. And so I have a mastermind that was birthed with that because I had the realization last fall. I'm like, you know what? This is what I'm meant to do for other creative entrepreneurs, other coaches and healers, that when you open your wild creative heart, that is the secret. Like that's one of the secrets to being able to have the impact that you want to have, and that it shifts everything you do, how you do your podcast, how you write your newsletters, because they're like we were talking about at the beginning of this, there's a different energy that gets communicated when people can really sense your wild creative heart.
Yeah, and it's so true. So what type of woman do you call in? Give us an idea of who is an ideal match for the Wild Creative Heart Experience.
I work with transformational coaches, anybody who's creating transformation in the world in a conscious way, coaches and healers, authors, or people who are entrepreneurs that might be your regular everyday entrepreneur, but they want to do it in a very conscious, spiritual way. And they are, they're up to big yes. Their business is a big yes. It is something that is important in their world where they are creating, they know they're making a difference, and they want to make great money while they do it. So they can keep on doing and creating this amazing change and keep on funding their dreams. So those are my ideal people. And they know there's something missing, and they might have thought that it was a marketing strategy, but actually it's this part. This is the part underneath the marketing strategies that needs to be activated.
It's so beautiful. So how long is the program? Is it a year, 6
The
months?
program is a year-long program. We actually just closed the doors on it for this segment. We're going to be opening it up again in the fall. And so people can come into, there's an application they fill out when they go to my website, or they can be put on a notification list. And then we'll send you the application and we can talk when we open the doors again.
Wonderful. And again, everyone, that's joyfulbusiness.com. You want to be sure to get on over there. Check out all the wisdom and resources she has waiting for you. We're going to take our final break and we'll be back in a moment. I'm with Laura West, author and creator of The Joyful Business Plan, as well as success scripting and creator of hundreds of programs, workshops, and creative tools. We'll be back in a moment.
The best of the holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Your worth is not determined by the number on the scale. You are enough right now, exactly as you are. If you're like many midlife women, you've thought, if I could just reach my ideal weight, I'd be so much happier. What we're really craving is our own love and acceptance, and Sarah Haas is that guide for your journey. Sarah is a women's weight release expert and body love coach, and walks alongside midlife women ready to say yes to self-care, self-compassion, and body love so they can become the healthy, vibrant, and unapologetically confident women they're here to be. Her holistic approach integrates nutrition, body movement, and self-care to nurture body, mind, and spirit. Visit sarahhaaswellness.com for supportive resources, programs, and more for midlife women ready to reclaim their health.
Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
This is Kathy Beal, host of Celestial Compass, featuring astrology you can use. Celestial Compass points you to what's going on in the sky and what you can do with it down here on Earth. We also explore fun, effective, and cosmic tools for navigating this adventure we call life. Join me the first and third Monday of the month at 5 p.m. Eastern Time for Celestial Compass. It's enlightening, entertaining, and empowering.
The United States has the highest rate of incarceration in the world. At the Equal Justice Initiative, we believe mass incarceration has to end. There is this presumption of dangerousness and guilt that gets assigned to Black and brown people. We have to confront our history of racial injustice and commit to a new era of truth. There's something better waiting for us, something that feels more like freedom. Truth can inspire change. Please learn more at eji.org.
Your conscious lifestyle on steroids. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
You're listening to Inspired Conversations. I'm your host, Linda Joy. And with me today is the joyful Laura West. So, Laura, we talked earlier about soul work. You help your clients discover their soul work. So tell us a little more about that.
Yeah, I distinguish it between, there's work that you do that's kind of like everybody else, but your soul work, that is the work that you are meant to do, bringing in what I call your unique, beautiful brilliance, that when we pull in and pull together and look at the through line between your expertise, your passions, your gifts, the gifts from the challenges that you've gone through, your life challenges, your business challenges, what you're naturally good at, even your personality quirks. So we do this whole inventory of your unique, beautiful brilliance to really come up with, okay, this is what I'm about in the world. And then getting clear about who you're bringing this gift to. And to me, that's your medicine, your soul work that you're meant to do in the world. And that when you're lined up with that, the forms are going to change. It's a retreat, it's a workshop. You've got a book on this topic, on that topic. But the through line is that it's your soul work, right? That you know that you can't not do it. You can't not do it. But we want to find a way for you to do it in a way that is, where we create an environment for you to totally flourish so that you can get your soul work out in the world in a bigger way.
I can identify with that because for me, this doesn't even feel like work because I finally found, I guess I would use your work. I know this is my soul work, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that a gift we want all entrepreneurs to feel like this is what I'm meant to do? And I didn't know that 17 years ago. I just kept following the spiritual breadcrumbs and doing the inner work like you did. But I can say, yes, I found my soul work. And something you just said, I really spoke to me too, as you said, it doesn't matter what iteration, retreat, book, program, your soul work can fit into all those structures because it's the essence of who you are.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It's going to take different forms as you continue to work with it. And, your interests will change as far as the formats and things like that. But the essence, your essence that's in your soul work, you're right. It's not even like work. It's like you can't not do it. Once you've discovered it, uncovered it, and start working with it, it just becomes part of who you are. And sometimes your soul work shows up as you're doing it at your school or your church or with your family and with friends because it becomes who you're being. And then the more you bring it into your business, that it takes it to a whole new level of that. And so there's a way that you can elevate it to a place where you are really standing in that soul work message.
Yeah, so beautifully said, my friend. I want to let them know about what they can expect from your Joyful Business TV show.
Yeah, Joyful Business TV. It's my weekly TV show. And I talk about this idea of having a joyful business. I think it is so on target, especially right now. People just got really burned out, from the last few years of what we've gone through. And people are looking for, how do I be on purpose? How do I use my gifts? How do I have more joy in my life and my business? And so I talk about all things joyful business that has everything from the spiritual to the creative, to the intuition, to the marketing strategies, to money and all the practical things.
I enjoy watching it. That's how I started reconnecting with you. We've always followed each other, but
right.
It popped up and I'm like, oh, I got to check this out. And I just love your energy. I love your teaching. So yeah, it's one of the ones I follow. So thank you for that offering to the world.
Well, thank you. I'm honored that you've seen it and that you've watched it. And
yeah, I enjoy it. And so what do you do? You have it in segments, and then
yes.
So, then
so it comes out every Friday.
Okay.
You can go to my YouTube channel if you search for Joyful Business, or you can just go right to my website at joyfulbusiness.com/JBTV, Joyful Business TV. And you can see all the episodes there. We're up to about 56 episodes. And so it's really fun. It's exciting. It's a hybrid model where part of the time, some of the episodes are me, sharing my joyful business philosophy and strategies. And then some of the time I'm interviewing people. We're going to be interviewing you coming up. And so we're interviewing people and hearing about how they have a joyful business and how do they keep connected to the joy and how do they keep recalibrating and what are their rituals and resources that they use.
All my favorite topics, my friend, all my favorite topics. So is there something you want to share, and we have about 5 minutes, that you have coming up since your Wild Creative Heart experience isn't available at this time? Are there any other products and programs that you want to tell them about that is on your website and available?
Yeah, well, I would encourage, if this message resonates, then I encourage you to go over to joyfulbusiness.com. And I have a free gift that is a Activate Your Abundance toolkit. And it has this really great meditation that you listen to that helps you connect into what I call the Universal Abundance Current. The Universal Abundance Current, or the UAC, this is what I talk to my clients about all the time. They all know UAC. And it's a recording to help you connect into the fact that there's abundance around you all the time. And you can step into it and lean into it, or you can resist it, but it's still there. Abundance is around. It's a natural part of our world, is the creativity, the expansion, the abundance. And it's available for you anytime. So you can get that meditation. And then there's a 7-day journal where you're writing each day, co-creating with the universe. So you can download all those for free. And you'll see that right on my website. And that's a great place to start, because then you'll get onto my list And then you can hear about other programs we have coming up around abundance flow, and I have several different things, a monthly membership.
I am so excited to have everyone visit joyfulbusiness.com. Laura, I can't hear you.
Yeah, there's so many resources there. I really appreciate you sharing that. And there's so many resources for people, entrepreneurs, to really have this different way of looking at their business. If you're tired of the hustle and grind, this is a whole new way. Yeah, you still have to work hard sometimes, but it's really, when you do it, aligning with your joy. As I say, joy is the best creative productivity tool around.
Oh my God, it is. And I invite everyone to grab that gift at joyfulbusiness.com. And again, you and I play in the same universal streams.
Mm-hmm.
What month are you born? I have to know, Laura.
September.
Okay, I'm October.
Okay, yeah.
Activation rituals I teach, we use almost the same language. But you know what I believe? I believe that love, joy, abundance is available to all of us. And we need as many teachers as possible to be out there sharing this darn message that it doesn't mean, when we talk about joy, and I'll speak for myself, Laura, and then I'd love your insights. When I speak about joy, abundance, alignment, it doesn't mean that I don't have difficult days sometimes. We have the human days, right? It's just knowing that when you align with those things, joy, abundance, success, it's just recalibrating back and forth. So I just wanted to be clear, like you guys know from all my shows and everything I put out, I'm all about alignment, joy, and living in the human world. So I didn't want you to think that, hey, it means your business is going to be so much easier and you're never going to run into blocks or stuff. No, you're just going to have the tools by tapping into Laura's wisdom, following Laura. You're going to have the tools to help you recalibrate.
Yes.
And Laura, would you like to add anything to that?
Yeah, I sure would. Because I'm really passionate about this, because I don't want to set an expectation that everything should be joyful all the time, 24/7. We'd get kind of bored, actually, if we didn't have any sort of contrast, right? And how would we know what was really joyful if we didn't have that? But I do believe that we need to become more familiar and comfortable with the full range of emotions. And to me, our emotions are like a GPS system, like a GPS for weather. Like the weather comes in and it's dark and dreary, and then there's sunny skies. Like it changes all the time. And when you look at it, like it changes all the time, and that it's information. Your emotions are information. So if you're angry about something, you're feeling resentful, that means there's something not being spoken. Like each of our emotions tell us something. They have valuable information for us. And the more that you look at it, and instead of just making it wrong and that part of you as bad, it's the more you bring that in and embrace it and say, what's here for me to learn or to pay attention to, then it usually dissipates. And then it's so much easier to go over to the highly creative joy, passion, enthusiasm, love, and those higher vibrations.
Yes. I knew we were on that same mindset too, because I didn't want to give the false illusion that joy means never having a life difficulty or running into a block. Laura, this conversation could continue for 2 hours. We just are so aligned. Mm-hmm. And I want to invite everyone again to visit joyfulbusiness.com. Take advantage of all the resources, wisdom, and expertise that Laura has to share. And Laura, deep gratitude, my friend, for joining me today.
Oh, thank you so much, Linda. This has just been a bright spot in my whole week. So thank you.
You're welcome. And until next time, my friends, choose love, choose joy, choose happiness. Blessings, everyone.
Thanks for listening to Inspired Conversations with publisher Linda Joy. Join our sacred space every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern and meet leading female visionaries, empowering authors, heart-centered female entrepreneurs, coaches, and healers. Inspired Conversations with Linda Joy is a soulful venue where guests share the obstacles they've overcome, along with wisdom and lessons learned on their personal journey that led them to the transformational work they do in the world. Inspired Conversations to empower you on your path to authentic and soulful living.